Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning, August 17th, 2021. It's absolutely my pleasure to visit with you this morning. We get together with our distribution partners most weekday mornings at this time, 8 o'clock Central or a minute or so before, talk about tactics, strategies, and so forth. We're going to change the topic a bit today and focus on education and building financial literacy. Building financial literacy is certainly part of our mission. I think it's something that you might want to get engaged with because it can be fun and certainly lucrative, and I'll give you details on that. But there's such a tremendous need. We live in a wonderful society, and we see what's going on globally and the horror stories that other people in other nations and other cultures are experiencing right now. But from our perspective, even though we live in America, the land of opportunity, our education system, and I used to be a public school teacher, our education system really teaches people how to get a job, not how to create jobs, not how to start and grow businesses. And so there's a gap there, there's a void there that you and I can help fill. So we're going to talk today for a few minutes about the business credit and financing training workshop. So I do have an agenda on the left-hand side here, which we're going to go through. I've shared this curriculum with you before, but let's just look at it quickly and then we'll get into our agenda. So the business credit and financing training workshop is turnkey. Here we have the agenda, and I'll go through it briefly, but we have a full guide that each attendee receives that goes through the workshop, and it's over 50 pages long. So it's really like how to start a business properly in a box. It's just so practical and needed. You might ask, well, what do we cover? We talk about how to get a business to be credible. A lot of small business owners don't know how to position their entity or form an entity that's credible, and that creates issues with access to capital. We talk about what business credit is, how it's different from personal credit. We help them even understand bank credit. Again, I realize that you all probably know this like the back of your hand, but trust me, the typical small business owner has significant gaps or voids of knowledge that is a barrier to them being able to have an optimal capital raise. We do further expose the benefits of business credit, building credit under the EIN. We show them how to do that. We dig into business lending. And so what are different types of business lending and time frames? We talk about cash flow based financing, talk about SBA loans. There's a lot of misconceptions about SBA loans. I worked for the SBA via SBDC up through July 5th of 1999. And I can tell you that so many people have wrong information about SBA loans. Oh, you have to have a high credit score. What do you and I know? You need a 160, right? A 160 FICO to qualify for an SBA loan. They'll say startups can't get financing. That's absolutely untrue. Brand new pre-launch businesses can get SBA loans. Again, I know I'm probably boring you, but I'm just giving you little tidbits of what we're going to train the audience on because they often don't know what they don't know. We'll talk about asset-based financing, credit-based financing, make sure they understand how FICO works. Like when I say that you need a 160 FICO for an SBA loan, people are like, huh? FICO doesn't even go that low because no one's trained them on how credit works and different credit scoring algorithms. You and I are going to do that together. Talk about how commercial credit works. So the end result is this course, and I'll get to my agenda in a second, it can be taught online or in person by you. We're looking for people to teach this. In person, I will tell you, you're going to have the most powerful impact, but I realize I'm a bit of a dinosaur, so I understand online learning is frequently accepted now. It can be taught as just a 1 hour quick class. It certainly, there's enough curriculum for it to be a full day class. And it's an outstanding funnel builder for access to capital and capital ready. Because think about it, if you took a group of 20 people, and regardless if you did it in person or online, and regardless if you did it in a cursory view in 1 hour or a full day, I mean, if you could teach people what they need to know, they're going to be ripe. It's an educated clientele that you have now. They're going to realize that working with you with the Access to Capital program makes all the sense in the world. Okay, so that's the agenda. And this is actually what we'll go through at the Train the Trainer workshop, which is in fact our topic today. So let's get over here. So what are we talking about today? We're looking for instructors to teach the business credit and financing workshop, which I just showed you here. You can be teaching this in person or online. Now, our Train the Trainer is in person. Sorry if that's confusing. Just clarifying that you can, in fact, teach this in person or online. And as I mentioned a moment ago, you can break it up. When I worked for the SBA, we would break up the curriculum over 4 weeks. Usually we'd do Tuesday evenings and do a couple-hour block, usually 2-hour block, 4 consecutive Tuesdays. You could do it that way. There's tremendous flexibility in how you go about teaching it. You make that decision, by the way. Award-winning turnkey curriculum, which I mentioned, and so this is just the outline. Of course, the pages continue on for the full curriculum, which we'll go through at Train the Trainer. Now, I want to really emphasize this because I don't know that you're maybe thinking about this the way that we would like you to. The way to help the most people is to work with key influencers, because key influencers already have the relationships and you're bringing a solution to the problem. So what are examples of key influencers? Could be a church, could be a chamber of commerce, a business organization, frankly, could be a library. It could be just an individual that has a wide sphere of influence. It could be an insurance agent, a CPA. But the point is, by creating a relationship with that key influencer, then they could theoretically provide you exposure to their sphere of influence. Well, could you do that without teaching these workshops? Absolutely, and many of you have. But I think through education, you'll get an easier entry into the book of business or the clientele or the sphere of influence of the host. So this is an excellent way. Just think about it for a second. So I know, and when I first approached, let's take the Mineola, Texas Chamber, I contacted the executive director, who's now changed. That person has left. Her name was Mattie, M-A-T-T-I-E. But I approached Mattie, and it was just a cold call. I said, hey, I'd like to come in and teach a workshop, a financing workshop for chamber members. I'd like you to arrange the room, Mattie. I would like you to promote it. And if you want to charge for people to attend, that's fine. I'd like you to take care of that. She was all over it. So we did it at the Mineola Country Club, had a full house, and it was great. So we'll talk more at Train the Trainer of how to most effectively work with hosts. But I don't want you to be of this mindset of, oh, well, I mean, this seems novel. Yeah, this is good information, but how am I going to get butts in the seats? Well, the way to get butts in the seats efficiently and effectively is working with key influencers, what we typically call hosts, like churches and chambers. But we'll teach you more about that at the Train the Trainer event. Okay, so we've covered the what. Now let's move on to, well, why should this be relevant to you? And again, some of you will embrace this, others won't. I should have gotten the tally this month to see how many conversions, enrollments Jeff has. We kind of jokingly look at that each day. He's probably pushing 300, but regardless of that, Jeff would never teach this. He just wants to do online marketing, and he's smart and he's motivated and obviously successful. So I understand some people are not of the teaching mindset, but I know that some of you are. Take John Stockton, for example, former educator like myself. Many of you would love to be in front of the room and to be able to teach and help people and use this as a funnel builder as well as a revenue generator. But anyway, let's get into the why. So you can certainly have fun while helping others increase their financial literacy. And as I mentioned before, this is an essential foundation of knowledge that most entrepreneurs need to know, but they don't. And it's so powerful. Again, that's why we can go to host and say, hey, we'd love to teach this for your church congregation that's involved with small business ownership or considering it. Or we would love to teach this at the chamber, as I mentioned, business organizations and associations and so forth. So, I mean, you can share with them the curriculum that we're going to go through, and they couldn't refute it. They couldn't say, oh, that's not needed. Of course it is, because anytime that we know that there's small business owners that need access to capital, we know that there's a problem, and the problem is either knowledge or preparedness. Well, you and I address both. We're going to increase their financial literacy, and we're going to help them build a loan package and get prepared. The second why is, and again, if you have any questions as we go through this, just go ahead and type it into the Q&A box of Zoom, and I'll get to it quickly. You control the fees. And so if you want to teach this for free, teach it for free. If you want to charge a lot for people to attend, charge a lot. The norm would be $100. I will tell you, and we'll dig into this at the Train the Trainer, I wouldn't approach a host with a predetermined price. I would work with the host to determine the price point that they think is best for their sphere of influence, and then offer a revenue share with them to motivate them to host it and promote it. So, but with that being said, let's just say that you went with the normal, we'll round off and call it $100 price point. This is not something that's get rich quick. Nothing that we do is. This is work, it's earned income, it's teaching for an hour to a full day, whatever you want, and getting paid for it while helping people. So with that being said, if you have a 20-person class, which is pretty normal, you make $2,000. I know a lot of you are big hitters and you say, well, man, I could go make $2,000 easier. I don't want to have to teach people. Then fine, don't do it. But if you would like to help people, use this as a funnel builder and earn $1,000 or a couple grand a day, this is the real deal. So again, it's up to you the frequency that you want to teach it. You could teach it once in a while. You could do it once a month or even once a week. I think I told you this story before. One of the co-working spaces, I would go in, it's since closed. It didn't survive the pandemic, but before the pandemic, once a month, I think it was the third Tuesday of each month, forgive me now, I've forgotten, but on a reoccurring basis, I was on their calendar and I'd come in and teach once a month. So it's not like, oh, I always have to go find who my next host is. It could be that one host produces a speaker series where you're coming in and teaching this in full each time or in part. It could be broken down into sections, of course. Another reason why is it's a great funnel builder. So again, I know that there's this continuum of you, and some of you are powerful on social media marketing. And with that, the last thing you want to do is spend your time teaching people. And that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. And then there's others, again, like the John Stocktons and I of the world. And we love seeing people learn. We like to see the light bulb come on. We love the hard questions. And so we love to teach. And so if you're interested in teaching, and you don't have to be a PhD, nor am I for sure, to be able to teach this curriculum, you come to the Train the Trainer, we get you prepped, and it's turnkey. But the bottom line is, in addition to being paid for teaching the class, you should create a funnel. And the funnel, of course, sorry, my highlighting's off, can generate some significant income, right? If you teach 20 people at the class, you make $2,000 for the day. Not a big deal, but not a bad day's time spent. But from that, you should generate some, many, or all of those people that actually enroll in access to capital, because they're going to be hungry for more. It's like, wow, okay, now I know all this. How do I go apply this to get funding? Well, you want to be the go-to person, which is exactly the point here. By getting active in your community and teaching this on a frequent basis, people will know that you're the go-to resource. And so what we've decided to do, and the decision frankly was just this morning, even after the agenda was created, we're going to have one trainer designated for each county in the United States. And we're not selling anything. There's no cost to be a trainer, so don't worry about that. But the bottom line is, if you're teaching online, there's no parameters, right? Because anyone anywhere around the globe could get online and learn from you. But we don't want to be stumbling over ourselves in Los Angeles County, California, or in Harris County, Texas, where Houston is. So we're going to have one designated trainer per county across the country. Now, I know that that's a bit of a flawed model, because there are some counties that are more populous and bigger and smaller than others. But the bottom line is, we don't want you all stumbling over each other. So it'll be an opportunity for you to pick the county that you want exclusivity on. Again, we're not selling you the county. We're not charging you for this. So don't worry about that. If you have questions on how that's going to work, let me know. All right, how? We're going to have the next live training, Train the Trainer training, on Friday, August 27th. Many of you have registered. Look forward to meeting many of you in person a week from this Friday, but we do have seats remaining. And so I encourage you to join us if you'd like to teach this. Specifically, this training is Friday, August 27th. We'll start at 9 a.m. We'll end at 4 p.m. and lunch is on me. Where we outgrew the space that we have in our office, in our training facility, so we've moved it off-site. It's going to be held in Tyler, Texas. There's a small airport in Tyler. You can fly in American or come into Dallas, Fort Worth. Again, you could come in the morning of or the night before, leave the evening of, or spend the weekend in DFW if you want, whatever you want. Obviously, it's a tax-deductible trip, so it's another perk of coming in. And so if you would like to teach this, if you would like to have geographic exclusivity for your county, of course at no cost, then you just need to let us know that you'd like to come. Email me, we'll get you registered, and then you'll be set to go. So with that being said, I'd like to get to your questions, comments, concerns. So what do you have? What questions do any of you have about this? All right, Timothy's asking, are there going to be other training sessions after the 27th? Probably so. Right now, this is the only one that we have open on the book. The one we had before filled up. So the only one that's on the calendar that has available seats is Friday, August 27th. And granted, we announced this a month ago. Maybe you're aware of that, or maybe not. So this isn't like a last minute put together. We just have a few seats remaining. So we're letting you know about that if you would like to attend. I think it's very valuable to position yourself as an expert in your community. And when I say community, that could be geographic community or kind of the sphere of influence. But we've got one, and he's frankly retired now, but when he was active, Rob's his name, he targeted a specific industry group. So he worked across the country, but Rob wanted to be the go-to resource for a specific industry group. And so he worked through the National Trade Association and he did a revenue share with them. They pushed it down to the local chapters and did really well. So there's a variety of ways to leverage this to get in the door with key influencers. And we'll certainly talk about that at the training. Okay. Who has questions, comments, concerns about the training workshop or the Train the Trainer event coming up on the 27th? So, Mr. Jackson, thank you. I will check. I know we have a number of registrations. I know they should be doing a reach out to everyone, probably not today, probably tomorrow, but I can check for you, Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson and I did a workshop together in the Woodlands, Texas. I mentioned this on a prior training years ago. So Mr. Jackson, it'd be great to see you again. But yes, if you've registered, they'll get a reminder out. I think it's scheduled to go out tomorrow. If you've not registered yet, just email us and let us know here. Okay, who else has questions, comments, concerns about the training so we can answer them? Whether it be about the relevance, why you would want to attend, the benefits, the content, whatever you need to know, let me know. Who has questions, comments, concerns? If not, we'll wrap it up. So let me summarize. We have a commitment. Part of our mission is to improve financial literacy. One of the ways that we can do that is by teaching in a structured format. So we have this strong agenda that captures these topics that we've talked about, that we're looking for instructors, and you can put whatever label. We're looking for educators, instructors, teachers, whatever you want to label it, to be able to help us push this out. The curriculum can be taught in person or online. I think it's most effective in person. I think that, and I know we're dealing with maybe another phase of the COVID, but in general, in many parts of the country, it's a good time to get in front of people, and we can work with hosts to be able to create the audience, to get the butts in the seat. There's no cost to teach the curriculum, and it's a great revenue generation system, and it also should provide a great funnel afterwards. And Pauline's asking, yes, absolutely. So we're creating a team of instructors, and so then we will work together on an ongoing basis. We'll have separate training and support sessions, separate from this general one, for those of us that are instructors. We'll have one instructor per county. Like we're needing one in Clark County, for instance, Nevada. We'll have one instructor in each county across the country. They'll have geographic exclusivity for that county. We're only doing that, again, we're not charging for that, but the only reason we're doing that is we don't want people stumbling. We don't want 5 people going to the same chamber or 5 people going to the same church trying to set up the workshop. That would look very uncoordinated. And so, yes, Pauline, there'll be ongoing support. We're really building a community of instructors. And if you want to be part of that, you would come join us for the Train the Trainer. Anna Marie asked, is this strictly for white label? Anyone can come to the training. You do not have to be a white label partner to register and attend the training. You do not have to be a white label partner to register and attend the training. Thank you, Anna Marie. I'm sorry I didn't explain that well. Adam asked an interesting question. Can he purchase a recorded class? Well, you know, for our access to capital, we have 4 modules that are on demand, that are white label. And you notice this is white label too, so this can be branded to you. That's why there's these editable fields. This will be branded to you, not to us. But with that being said, there's not yet that I know of a full recording of this entire curriculum. So it would be joining us for live Train the Trainer and then teaching it. And if you want to record it, then you could. There's that question, is there a cost for the training? Yes, we're covering our cost for the room, the materials, and lunch included. It's $299, which is a steal. I mean, teach one workshop, teach 3 people, and you break even. But yes, we do charge for coming to the training. to cover our cost and to make sure that we're working with a committed group of people. And then once you've attended the training, then you'll be able to pick the county of which that you want to be responsible for. No cost, you're not buying a county, and then we'll support you in that. So yes, Pauline, anyone that wants to attend, if you'll just email. I'm getting a bunch of chats interested in attending, but I can't assimilate it that quick. So just email me and let me know that you'd like to come to the Train the Trainer. Thank you, Pauline and others. Yeah, Mr. Jackson, I don't think that you've registered yet. I had Ann check and she didn't see you on the list. So if you feel like that you have registered, Mr. Jackson, please let me know, but I don't believe that you have. Okay, let's see what other questions we have here. No, this training itself won't be recorded because we're going to have this is a training that we're doing on the 27th of how to teach this training. So there's going to be a lot of conversation, and I'm a big believer any question's a good question. So no, we won't record the training on the 27th. Thank you for asking, Adam. And Steve is like a few of you with a really national type of focus, and I don't disagree. I think this is something that you could come get trained on, Steve, and be able to leverage on a national scale. Well, let's go to key influencers for a second, and this is key. The key influencers are key. That doesn't sound right, but the point is it's instrumental to understand that key influencers can provide you access to large numbers of clients for the class and clients for access to capital program. So key influencers can be on a local scale, they can be on a regional scale, they can be on a statewide scale, or you could have national influencers. And so, yes, Steve, I agree. I think that you could do some big things with this, and it's going to become, again, it's good on its own. Understand, it's not a bait and switch. It's good on its own. We are going to train the people on these topics. It's great. There's like a 50-page guide they're going to get that they're going to walk away with. It's grade A. There's no question about that. However, I don't want to understate the fact that it is a great funnel builder, because now the people know you. Some of you are licensed insurance agents, not all of you, but I mean, this is a gold mine. What could you do that would be better in developing insurance clients than getting in front of a room and becoming the go-to resource for accessing capital? Because almost every small business owner wants and needs capital. Now, do most small business owners really need better insurance and asset protection coverage? Probably so, but it's really not probably the burning fire that they're looking to put out. So especially if you're an insurance agent, I can't imagine that you wouldn't want to be training this curriculum and have geographic exclusivity in your county. So we're going to have just one instructor per county for the in-person workshops. Anyone can teach it online because there's really no boundaries there. So, I mean, take the major cities. We're looking for someone for New York, Chicago, LA, Houston, Phoenix, Philadelphia, but even small communities. And I've told this story before, so it's redundant. The largest workshop that I ever taught, let's go back over here, was in Hopkins County, Texas. If you look it up, I think Hopkins County, Texas has less than 20,000 people. I forget the population, but it's actually, I did it at the Sulphur Springs Country Club in coordination with the Chamber of Commerce there. The town of Sulphur Springs is so small that they don't even have a chamber. It's a county chamber called the Hopkins County Chamber. They asked me to come in, and they paid me to come in and teach the workshop. And so we had, I think it was 110, 113 attendees at this. Is a nice country club, but in a very small town, in a very small county. So I'll always come out fighting when someone says, well, this only works in big cities. I call BS on that. I mean, we all choose, maybe more directly than or indirectly, where we live. And so you could be in a small community somewhere in a rural area. You should be out teaching this because that's your local community. You chose to live there. You need to help those people, in my opinion. Or you can be in a massive city, a large city, and teach them. But we're not selling slots, so don't mistake that. But we are looking for a designated instructor to be the point of contact to teach workshops, and we're going to have one per county. And so I know some counties are very large, and you may need to get some help, but you would coordinate that. You would control the county. So again, fire away with your questions. And so if you want to register, just email us and let us know. Okay, we're at the 30-minute point. So I understand some of you can't travel. Some of you, the 27th is not convenient. Again, from our defense, this isn't new. We didn't just pop this up. This has been scheduled for over 4 weeks, and we brought it up before. Maybe we've not reminded you often enough, but we're essentially about 2 weeks out now and letting you know. So who else has any questions, comments, concerns on this? I'm not here trying to recruit into anything, not trying to sell you anything, but if you're looking for a way to drive leads into your Access to Capital program, especially if you're white label, getting in front of people and training them is great. And then also people can make an educated decision of, you know what, maybe I'm not ready for business ownership yet. And Adam, yes, all the counties are available now, by the way. All of the counties are available. None are taken. It'll be based upon the folks that come to the trainer, passing the class, the certification, which if I'm a good instructor, then everyone should pass. And then at the end of the day, on the 27th, we'll be divvying up counties. And so whether it be Clark County, Nevada, Harris County, Texas, Los Angeles County, California, and so forth. So, but all the counties are open. None have been assigned. All of them will be assigned at the conclusion. Well, not all of them, of the attendees that are there. They'll pick the county that they want. Okay, so I think we've covered it. So, but again, online, if you're going to teach this online, you're not locked out. So let's say that Mr. Jackson takes Harris County, Texas, which he's interested in. So let's say that he comes to the training on the 27th, and now he is going to manage the in-person trainings in Harris County, Texas. You'd have to work with him if you wanted to teach it in Harris County, Texas. But online, it's fair game. There's just no way to logistically or reasonably try to limit online education. So what we're talking about is having a point person, a lead instructor of each county, of each state. Of course, in California, it's called, or I'm sorry, in Louisiana, it's called parishes, but you get the point. All right, so with that being said, we'll be back tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Let us know if you're interested. And frankly, if you just can't make this date, but you're very interested in coming in September, email me that and let me know that as well. And then we can use that as a stimulus to set up a training date in September. All right, thanks everyone. See you back tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.